What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to our channel. What's up, and welcome back to Currently Building Generational Wealth. I am one of your hosts, the one, the only, the flyers on today. I am Danielle Bailey, and of course, God is the ultimate host. What up, y'all? Happy Wednesday. It is so good to see that y'all survived the solar eclipse, what is it? The Cyclops. Like, I don't know what it was that was supposed to happen on Monday. I'm just glad that y'all survived it. We didn't have anything down here, okay, in Louisiana. We were supposed to, like, y'all, I couldn't see nothing. The clouds were in the way for us, so we didn't get a chance to see any of the solar eclipse or nothing like that. It didn't even get dark, you know. So yeah, it was a big waste for us. But nonetheless, we are still on top of the ground, and the ground is not on top of us. What's up, y'all? So I wanted to come on here and I wanted to speak about how to talk to clients about fees and stuff like that. I think that when I first started off in business, and truth be told, sometimes I kind of still struggle with that in a sense, because you struggle between I'm the therapist and it's a healing relationship, and like I can't necessarily talk, I can't, or I don't want to talk to them about fees. What if it hurts the therapeutic relationship and all this and that? And so we kind of shy away from talking about fees with our clients or whatever. And truth be told, you cannot use your therapist hat when you're talking to your clients about fees. You actually have to use your business owner hat. So this is one of the downfalls when you're just in a solo practice by yourself, when you have to handle everything, when you got to be the business manager, the office manager, the therapist, like when you have to be all those hats and things of that nature, you kind of, and then we're not taught, let's just talk about that too. We're not taught that in school, how to talk to our clients about fees and stuff like that. Like, we're not taught to talk to them about money. In a lot of our jobs that we have worked before, it's either federal funded, it's either Medicaid funded in some sense, right? So we don't never have to. The only time I feel like social workers or therapists or whoever, when they start really talking to clients about money, is when they go into private practice themselves. Other than that, you never talk to a client about money, because a lot of the times the services are free to the clients and you don't have to worry about it. But when you're in private practice, that's a whole different ball game, and you have to really and truly start talking to clients and being upfront and being comfortable with talking to clients about money too as well. Because at the end of the day, what you kill is what you gonna eat. That what my grandpa tell me all the time. What you kill is what you gonna eat. So in other words, what you do is how you're going to eat. What services you provide, because we are a service-based agency, what services provide is how you're going to feed your family. It's how you're going to pay your rent. It's how you're going to, so it begins to be, you have to become comfortable. I don't care who it is. You have to become comfortable with speaking about money to your clients. And if it damages the therapeutic relationship, which it should not, you know what I'm saying? Or if it put a strain on the therapeutic relationship, just refer that client out. But if you can be upfront with telling clients about fees that they may encounter, you know what I'm saying? I think that that'll make it so much easier or whatever. But a lot of times when I find therapists who are afraid to talk to clients about money, that's an interpersonal thing. That's an interpersonal struggle or whatever you're having with yourself. It has nothing to do with the clients. So that's what I want to do. Number one, if you find yourself struggling with talking to clients about money, I need you to check in with yourself and see where's the problem or where's the disconnect coming in at with yourself. Okay? Because there's something that's just not connecting with yourself that makes you afraid to talk to clients about money. Sometimes, we'll be quick to say, oh, a client can't pay our fees. A client can't say that. I know I've been guilty of saying that. A client can't pay that, or a client can't pay my fees. You don't know what them people can pay. And so you don't charge them or you don't talk to them about that. No, I need you to check with them, check with yourself, see what it is. And I need you to be forthcoming and talk to your clients about it. Respect yourself enough to not put yourself in a poorhouse. Value your own self enough not to put your own self in the poorhouse. Like, we have to start putting, and I know that this may go against everything that we've been taught in school. We have to start putting ourselves first as a clinician. And then I know a lot of times, which I probably do a separate video, people ask, how do you set your fees? How do you set your fees, Danielle? And truth be told, when I first started, insurance companies set my fees. I didn't set a fee at all. Like, whatever the insurance company would take, that's what I would take. Period. Well, Medicaid said they're gonna pay this. Commercial insurance said they're gonna pay this. Somebody else said they're gonna pay this. I had no set fee. I was getting whatever they decided, because I didn't know any better as a business owner. Now that I've been in this thing for a while, oh, we need this amount of money to survive. We need this amount of money to survive. We need this amount, and when I say survive, I mean survival. I don't want to survive. We need this amount of money. We can be okay. But we need this amount of money to thrive. My goal is to get at this amount of money so that I can be thriving on all cylinders. Okay, like, that's what I'm working at. I'm not working at the bare minimum anymore. I'm not trying to do that. So when I decided to take on and set my own fees and become comfortable with my clients, like today, it rained down here a lot in Alexandria. It was supposed to, I don't know if it did or not, it was supposed to. And so this morning, it was, do you make the decision? Because a lot of schools are closed. A lot of state agencies are closed and stuff like that. So I had to wake up this morning and make the decision, am I going to close? Am I going to not see clients? Well, if I don't see any clients today, that means that I don't get paid for the day. So I'm not state agencies. I'm not the school system where they would get paid regardless. So I had to do an assessment of, is the weather bad enough to where my clients can, because I got to do safety first. Baby, I woke up, went outside. Ain't no rain in sight. All y'all coming. Well, people was like, the weather may get bad later. And even if the weather was bad, I still was going to offer telephonic services, and I was going to offer Zoom. Because we still have to be able to make money, right? And so I had a client that reached out to me, and they was like, hey, Danielle, would I get charged a late fee if I have to cancel my appointment because I may have to stay at work? And I said, well, I said, I am offering telephone services, and I'm offering Zoom. And I had to really think about it, about what I was going to say. Am I going to say, no, I'm not going to charge you, or am I going to charge you? So I came up with a solution. I was like, hey, I'm offering 2 types of services today, extra services, telephone and Zoom. So if you cannot make either one of them, then you will be charged. Like, I gave an option. You may not be able to make it physically, so cool. But if you can't make it physically, you got these 2 other options to choose from. And she was like, don't worry about it. She was like, because she would get charged the fee. She's like, don't worry about it. She was like, something ended up happening to where she's able to come. But I really have to have that conversation with myself this morning, because the old me would have been like, just don't worry about it. Just tell her don't worry about it. We ain't gonna charge her. She don't have to come. No. Give options. And then once you give options, and then if they don't come, then boom. And then now that I see it's outside, it ain't raining at all. It is pure sunshine. So if I would have woke up this morning and chose to tell all my clients they did not have to come, I would have lost money throughout the day. And that would have been a big old hit. Especially with today's clients, a lot of them are self-pay. A lot of them are commercial. So you got to do what you got to do. Like, yo, what I'm learning in this season right here that God has me in, yo, God is like, I'm holding you accountable. I'm holding you accountable. So in turn, I got to get up in here and we got to make it shake. I told y'all I'm trying to get to a thriving status. I'm just not trying to be out here surviving. And so it was just, I just want to say that, like, become comfortable with talk yourself off the ledge, because a lot of times it's you, it's not your clients. So talk yourself off the ledge, and don't even, because a lot of times, like I said, it's you, it's not your clients. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. There we go. I'm talking about somebody look like Mr. Potato Head. You done got removed, okay? But yeah, like a lot of times it's us, it's not our clients. Check with yourself, bro. Have that conversation with yourself. And remember, this is a business. And every business needs funds to operate. So don't be afraid to talk to your clients about money. And if y'all can't come to a common ground, well, then terminate the relationship. That's okay too. Like, we have to stop being afraid of losing clients because y'all may disagree with money. Or either, you know, like at one time I was like, if I say this, they might run my name in the ground. They might run my name in the ground in the streets. I can't even worry about that no more. Like, because a lot of people will not agree with what you decide. Like, especially if a client shows up late, or if a client, you know, like they do a no show, no call, and you charge their credit card, that will piss a lot of clients off, and they will talk about you, right? They will do that. But that's okay too at the same time, or whatever, because it's like, I'm gonna tell you beforehand, you know, look, I'm gonna say, if you decide to not come, then we're gonna have to run your card. And whatever it is that they, because I've had clients where they have right, I get one time late. That's me. I get one time late, no cancellation. Prime example, one of my best clients, right? I know, like, one of my best clients, and it happened, and so they had an appointment at 6 o'clock, no show, no call. And I'm like, what's going on, right? And so they called it, like, damn, I'm sorry. I overslept, boom, boom, boom. Like, I get it. I said, okay, you get one. I say, but in my policy is you get one no call, no show. Your second one, depending on what type of insurance you have, Medicaid, if you have Medicaid, you get one no call, no show. Your second one, you're gonna be referred out. You're gonna be referred out of services, because some Medicaid plans you cannot charge. So that's just money missed altogether. And so I had to have that conversation. I was just like, look, okay, I get it, but the next time that happens, we're gonna have to refer you out. And they was like, understood. Like, having that conversation, they were like, totally understood. I get it, everything what you say. And plus, they are therapists too. Understood. And they was like, you know, they was just like, you know, I even told my client, here go my therapist right here getting on to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Getting on to me about the importance of our appointments. A lot of times people don't think that their mental health is important. Or they just, I'm getting better. No, like, your mental health is important. You should prioritize. Like, especially one thing that churns my gears, that I'm not gonna lie, when a client say, I need to reschedule my appointment because I got another appointment. And you've been knew about our appointment. What makes you think my appointment is less valued than the other person's appointment that they just called you for and told you, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't, and I'm not talking about a you know, like a brain specialist or something like that, you know, where the appointments are very rare to get in. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got these very rare appointments and they calling like, hey, this either you can get in today or you can't get in to 6 more months. That's okay. I get that. But we talking about random doctor's appointments. Not necessarily random doctor's appointment, but routine doctor's appointment to your PCP, where if you tell them, hey, I already got an appointment scheduled, can I come tomorrow? They be like, yeah. No, that still ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work for me, because you decided to cancel this appointment to go to another appointment that should have been. So no, like, I'll charge them too. And one person was like, man, you gonna really do that? Yep, I really am. because I need you to value this appointment just as much as you value that appointment. Then I said, just call them back and make another appointment or whatever for tomorrow. They call back, you know what? I didn't even know I can do that. Not until you not until you start expressing. I will say this: anytime that I have had a struggle with clients and with charging them a fee, anytime I have finally told them I'm going to charge this, they have always made a way to show the fuck up. Let me be real. They have always made a way to show up when I say that I'm going to run your card for this. Hold on, let me see how I can make it. Let me see what I can do. Let me see. That it has never failed. When I said I'm going to charge you for this, let me see what I can do, Miss Danielle. Then I'm going to call you back. And then they come in and they like, man, you was going to really charge me. Yes, I really was. And still love yourself. I was really going to charge you. You need to value. But then that goes back to you. You valuing your own services enough. So, like, I'm telling you, anytime I've said, okay, fine, but I'm gonna run your card, they gonna find a way. And they gonna come up in here, and then you know they might even be a little bit mad. I'm fine with that too. You're all right. We can talk about this. We can use that time to talk about your feelings of being mad that I had to run your card. Like, we can talk about this. We can have this difficult conversation. This is what therapy is for. So every time it has happened, they have always made a way. And then, you know, if it happened again in the future down the line, where they will just say, go ahead and run my card. I already know you got to run my card for such and such. It's when you start respecting your own self. And when you can just tell them, like, if you don't show, and I tell my clients all the time, if you don't show up, your insurance company does not pay. So that means that is money missing from me. So, like, I'm very truthful and straightforward. When you don't show up, I don't get paid. Period. And I can't have it. Because if you don't go to work, you don't get paid either. You know? So, they understand. I got some really good clients now. You know what I'm saying? Again, like, if the client really do have a big problem with it, that's not your ideal client or whatever. So right now I have some really good clients. They understand and they cool with it. But even if they would, we'll see. And this is something that you also talk to your clients about too when they first come into therapy. When you start doing all your initial assessments and all this and that, right? You go over the policy with them. What is my policy? This right here. And especially for me, because I've just recently developed a policy. If you miss 2 appointments, no call, no show, and I refer you out of the agency, I really just came up with that. And that's something that I'm going to stick to because I'm getting extremely busy right now. And it ain't even about, well, I'll pay you, Danielle. It's not necessarily about that too. It's about that somebody else could be in your slot. Especially if you got a prime slot. Like, my prime time slots are full. Like, my 5 o'clock, I didn't add in a 6 o'clock appointment too. So if you're really missing those, which are 5 and 6, those slots fill up before any other slot fill up because people are at work and they want to come after work. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're playing around and you don't come, like, somebody else could have really had this spot that I really and truly could be helping, that 5 or 6 o'clock slot or whatever. So when I start having people missing those, like, I immediately, because I really could have, like, today, like tomorrow, I have a 6 o'clock client. He told me last week that he wasn't gonna be here, but I forgot. And so I texted him. I was like, hey, don't forget your appointment. He was like, remember I told you I wasn't gonna be there last week? I said, bet you sure did. And guess what I did? Call somebody else. Hey, I got a 6 o'clock open for tomorrow. You want to come? Absolutely. Prime time spots. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, and I want to say this as therapists too. I don't know about nobody else who may have done this, right? I used to be lazy. And when my clients would cancel an appointment, I would not try to fill it. I would not try to fill it at all. Like what I just told y'all, the example when he said, "Hey, I got a 6 o'clock." When he said I can't make it, I usually would just end the day at my 5 o'clock appointment and go home. But no, the Lord was like, I talked to the Lord about it. I was like, Lord, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. He was like, the Lord convicted me and somebody else convicted me. Another therapist. They was like, Danielle, you don't work. You don't work a lot. I was like, what you mean? And the Lord, I remember telling the Lord, Lord, I'm struggling. He was like, you don't even see enough people. You know, like you don't even try to reschedule appointments that they cancel. You don't even try to find somebody to fill that spot. So to anybody therapists that do that, like y'all start, if you know you set your schedule to be whatever your schedule going to be, make sure you at all costs try to have that amount of people booked. Because for me, my schedule is based off of how much money I need to run my practice. It don't matter who in that spot. I need somebody to be in that spot. Okay, I need every spot filled. That means that I will see 6 people a day. I need every spot filled. I will see 6 people 4 times a week. I'll see them on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes I done put 6 on Thursdays. So let me see. So how many appointments that is, y'all? That's what, 24 appointments, and every other Saturday I will see 3. So that'll put me at 24 appointments one week, 27 appointments the following week. That's, in a sense, I'd be like, that's a lot sometimes, but it's not necessarily a lot. And my Thursday will always fluctuate. I may not see 6 people. I may see it can be 2 to 6, depending on what type of workload I have. Because Thursdays are really my day to do paperwork and content. But right now, I need to get this money up. So this week, I got 6 people. And I think next week, I'm going to have 6 people too. Or whatever. But when I get the money to where I need it to be, that Thursday will go back to 2 to 4 people. I won't do a full 6. I'll probably do 2 to 4. Like I have 11 o'clock and I have a 12 o'clock or whatever. So, but what I'm saying is, whatever your appointment time is, you need to have people in those slots. Don't just the only time you should not be working is if you could not get somebody to fill that spot. And then when you don't have a person to show up, like this morning, my 12 o'clock, she ended up having to cancel because she was sick. So that's going to be another one. When she come in the next week, we're going to have a talk. You know what I'm saying? You cancel, you sick, but we're going to give you that one. But moving forward, so, but like, make sure your slots are filled. Whatever your slots are, make sure somebody is there. Make sure you either a person is there, or either you are finding some kind of way to make money in that slot. You may not get an immediate money that day, but you need to be doing something that is going to generate revenue in some kind of way. So like this morning, when she didn't show up, I recorded some videos. I went and ran some errands and stuff like that. And I went ran errands, recorded a video, so that video can then generate money later on. I think I'm gonna do a Facebook Live too, so that I can talk about therapy services. So after I get off the phone with y'all, I'm gonna go over on Facebook, talk about the importance of therapy and how we're trying to build up over here. And during that time when she didn't show up, that's when I end up calling and getting my 6 o'clock for tomorrow filled. So again, I'm still trying to make money. Even though she didn't come, I'm still trying to make money in that spot. So I called, text some people, and they was like, boom, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about seeing people. Don't be afraid to talk about money. It's okay. All right. So nonetheless, that's all I got for y'all beautiful people. I'm gonna head on over to Facebook, and we're gonna talk about therapy services and some of the services that we offer here, so that people can, sign up. Cause I'm really pushing people signing up for therapy services, for healing and all that. And I need to read my Bible. That's what I need to do. I need to read my Bible for the day because I have not read it, and I need to read Samuel. That's what I'm gonna do before I go on Facebook. I'm gonna go read the word of the Lord. And I want to say this: the word of the Lord is, if you ever are struggling with anything and you need God to talk to you, my Bible over there, read that. He will give you what you need. He will give you strategy. He will talk to you. And I want to say this, and when I read my Bible, bro, I don't know if it just be, I think that I want to say this: mental health and therapy, therapy and Jesus go together. Yesterday, I had read First Samuel chapter 9, and so it talked about, this is how, like, I'm reading when I used to read Samuel all the time. I used to read Samuel about so that I can read Hannah's story or whatever, right? About not having kids and stuff like that, because I don't have kids. And I remember her praying, and that's how she got Samuel. And so I would read it for Hannah. But God was just like, no, go back, read it. And so I started reading Samuel from a different perspective. And this is why the Bible is the living word. So I read Samuel chapter 9 yesterday. And it talked about, the people of Israel wanted a king. And the Lord did not want to give them a king. But he said, but since y'all begging, I'm going to give y'all a king, right? And so he told Samuel, this time tomorrow, I will send your king. I will send a man to you, and you will anoint him as king, right? And so Saul, father, told him to go and look for the donkeys because the donkeys had ran off. So Saul went in the land to go and look for the donkeys. Saul and his servant, right? So so this was one day. The next day, because the Lord had told Samuel, I'm going to send you a man, and he about the same time, and that's going to be the king that the people want. And so Saul, he was looking for the donkey, and then his servant was like, there's a seer, and maybe the seer can help. So he goes, and they are looking for the seer, which is Samuel, right? So Saul is going up there, and Saul. And so Samuel sees Saul, and Samuel was like, I got a word for you from the Lord. And he was just like, tomorrow I'm going to anoint you or whatever. And so basically what I got from chapter 9, you can be called, but if you do not work on the inside of you, because Saul suffered from jealousy, he suffered from insecurities, like he suffered from arrogance, like he never did the healing work. And this is what the Lord told me. He was like, he never did the healing work, so he could never be my right hand man. Like he never fully gave himself to me. Like he never fully committed to me. And I was just like, wow. He was like, so you can still be called, but if you don't do the healing work to where that I can come fully and committed in your, if you don't fully and commit to me in your heart of hearts, like I cannot call you, you cannot be my right hand man. It's one thing for me to be called by God, but it's another thing for me not to be God's right hand man, like a right hand man or right hand woman. I just don't want you to call me. I want to be your right hand. I want God to be like, there go my good servant Danielle right there. Because God can call me, but if I don't do the internal work to heal so that way God can move freely and through my heart, no, like that's just a waste of time sometimes. Like I want to be fully committed and fully sold out to the Lord. If I'm going to go through this, that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to go through the trials and the tribulations, I need to be God's right-hand man or right-hand woman. I just don't need to be called. So that story just resonated with me yesterday. And every one of my clients, I end up sharing the same story to them because it fit the situation, what they was going through. And every client was convicted, and it resonated with them. And it was something that gave them hope, that gave them joy. They all was like, they're going to go home, they're going to read Samuel and all of this. Like, they were really like, so I just want to say you can't combine therapy, you can't combine your spirituality, whatever it may be, especially if a client identifies as Christian or whatever. Like, use that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Use those Bible verses and Bible stories, because like a lot of them, they had never heard of the Bible story, so they were excited to go back and read it, just like I was or whatever. And so that just gave people hope. They gave them joy. You know, that uplifted their spirits or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know how I got on that tangent. Okay, but yeah, let me see. I gotta go now. I need to go and handle some business. All right. So, nonetheless, I love y'all, beautiful people. Y'all have an amazing evening. Y'all have an amazing Tuesday. No, today Wednesday. Y'all have an amazing Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm gonna see y'all. I don't know. Bye.